boss, right? So you travel to different cities, talk about being a mother and being a boss,
with the
right?
Boss
That's really important
Network
for us
at
mothers. Like, how do
Ladies
you
That
balance
Lead.
having children and actually running your business
I'm
or
here
growing
with
your
Dr. Joel
career? And
Tinker
so I have
and
the pleasure
also
of
Lashana
introducing our
Simmons
first
from
moderator
Ella
because, okay, for
Fair.
me, I'm like, you know what? I'm all about exposing women. I want you guys to hear from so many amazing women.
She's actually
And the
going to
reality
be
is
on
you
the
can't do
panel today.
everything, right? So you, and list women who are going where you want to go to help support you. So I got some boss women today who's going to moderate these panels for me while I boss up and kind of learn like you guys are learning, okay? So our first moderator, I'm going to read a little bit about her for you guys while y'all enjoying this good music. All right, so Latoya is a wife, mother, and parent enthusiast. She's a dynamic, savvy, MBA-educated, successful leader in advancing the nonprofit sector. She's an innovative, goal-driven performer with nearly 20 years of experience in fund development, strategic planning, and nonprofit management. Over the course of her career, Latoya Dennis has raised more than $75 million to further the mission of organizations like
$75 million.
which I was talking to Mega, yeah. Boys and Girls Club, CASA of Los Angeles, and St. Philip's School and Community Center. Latoya Dennis, coined as the motivated mom, helps moms create strategies for success, to live a healthy life of purpose and abundance, and of course, financially free. All right, so without further ado, let's give our first moderator a big boss round of applause. Ms. Latoya Dennis. Representing her peak, I love this. Hey, y'all.
Good? Okay. Well, listen, I have, hey y'all.
Hi.
Y'all are beautiful. Okay, so I have an amazing panel that's going to join me, and I'm not going to do what Kamika just did, right? I have 30 minutes, and they have a lot of great nuggets. So I'm just going to bring up my panel, Miss Alicia Bowen, Jewel Tanker, and Kimberly Jones. Please go forward. And you guys, when we get up here and we can kick it off, I just want you to give like a 30-second commercial about who you are, what you do, your brand. Just tell us all about you for like 30 seconds. You can do it. You can do it.
Hello, good morning. My name is Alicia Bowens. I am a millionaire mom, visionary, expert, speaker, author, corporatepreneur, IT professional, realtor, and of course, mom. Hey everyone, my name is Kim Jones, and I am a business and life strategist, entrepreneur. I have several businesses. I have an auto logistics company, management company for entertainment industry, independent label. I also am the new assistant VP of Cash Money Records. Several different things going on. Mom as well, realtor as well. So multifaceted as an entrepreneur.
Yes, girl. They back. So I'm Jewel Tankard, and I'm a pastor's wife. I'm married to Ben Tankard. Yes, thank you, Lord. My honey just got dropped his new CD, so if you love his music, make sure you check it out. Also, we have two successful shows on TV, one on Bravo called The Tankards, and the Jewel Tanker shows on Impact Network. And then I also own and operate the Millionaires Club, where I teach women short and long-term wealth strategies on how to develop daily cash flow opposed to getting paid every week.
Come on, y'all. Thank you for As Kamika said, a couple years ago, we got together and collaborated on Mom Boss, right? And all of the things that we're going to talk about around entrepreneurship is very important, but I do want to make a real quick commercial. There is no job that we have that's more important than being a mom. That's the truth, right? There is no job. And so when we dive in to our entrepreneur endeavors and talk about bossing up, I really want us to make sure that as moms, that's critical. And balance. People say that you don't have work-life balance. Well, as a mom, you have to. So can you guys quickly tell us about your entrepreneur path? Like, how did you get to where you are? Why did you become an entrepreneur? Were you always an entrepreneur? Talk to us a little bit about your journey as an entrepreneur.
So I grew up as an entrepreneur. I'm a fourth generation entrepreneur. My parents were the first African Americans to have a business downtown Detroit. So I grew up in the record store seeing them grind. They were a power couple before power couples really were like they were today. My dad and mom were together. And so, and then they did things to cultivate that. They had me in extracurricular activities and acting classes and things like that that would really develop my confidence. So I saw a strong work ethic. So I got my first job working at a temp agency, answered the phone, and then I sold cell phones, and then I moved over to entrepreneurship. But I think it wasn't hard for me because I saw them work 10, 12, 14-hour days. So that part kind of came natural. The biggest challenge I would say in entrepreneurship is knowing and making sure your business is actually scalable. Because it's one thing to work really hard, it's another thing to be able to implement people and logistics so that you can actually scale your business and work smarter. So that was kind of my background.
What about you? You guys entrepreneur path?
I guess for me, I started off working a 9 to 5, so I had no intentions of being an entrepreneur initially until I actually started working a 9 to 5, and it just seemed like a rerun every day. I'm on a zombie trail to work, and I'm like, okay, guys, is this it? Is this really it? So there was like an inkling for me, like there's something more, but I really still didn't have an idea of what that was. And it took me being laid off 4 times in 3 years to actually catapult me into that. But I was introduced to that initially just through coaching, and then just realizing, okay, I want to do something else outside of working a 9 to 5. There's more to my life. There's more that I can give. I grew up in a family that we weren't rich. We didn't have a lot of money. We had fixed income, so there wasn't an exposure to much entrepreneurship. My grandfather, he did have his own real estate company back in the 50s and 60s, which is rare for a black man. So that was like, I would hear echoes of entrepreneurship, but never really see it right out. So I had to learn the journey. I had to understand how to manage my time, how to create a scalable business, which is what I'm still learning to this day. So it's definitely a process.
But you said something that was really important, and I hope you guys caught it. She said she had to get a coach, because we don't know everything, right?
That's right.
And it's okay to admit that you don't know everything. A coach is a good thing, yeah. Kimberly, we make tremendous sacrifices for our children. How do you make sure that you have time for your children and your personal goals? You guys can answer this as well, but I just want to kick it off with you.
Okay. Of course, like you said, being a mom is like the biggest job, the most important job. And I think that's the job that I take pride in the most. Making sure that my kids are successful. First, let me say that my son is 24 years old. He just graduated from college. And then my daughter is 14 and she is in high school. She's in medical science program. So my goal was to make sure that my kids were successful because my childhood, I got pregnant when I was 17 years old. But I knew that I was a visionary. I knew that this wasn't the goal to be a teen mom, but it happened, and so you move on from there and you know that you can still make things happen. So going forward, I put so much time into making sure that my kids were successful that at one point I did lose myself because the focus was on making sure that they didn't have the same lifestyle I had. So eventually, with all of the business, my husband and I are also business partners, so another power couple, so to speak. Everything was based around our businesses. So I'm flying to Europe on tour, but then I'm flying back to make sure I made my daughter's cheer competition from Dubai, and then I leave 2 days later, go back to, so it became about my family until I started to say, okay, I need to learn how to be a little bit selfish and make sure that I stop and take the time to focus on the things that I wanted to do because I knew that God had a greater calling on my life to help other women with business and spiritual goals and things like that. So it was a matter of just stopping and saying that, okay, you guys see how much time and effort I put into you, so you have to give me that support as well because maybe I can't be at 2 games in the week, okay, Devin? I'll make 1 game, and then this day, son, I need you to get Devin to wherever, and just make sure that the time was managed so that everybody was taken care of.
Yeah. And I'll tell you guys, I've recently hosted the Motivated Mom Retreat, and I've been doing a tour. We can talk a little bit about it. And last year, passed out on stage at my event. I was not paying attention to Latoya Dennis. The Motivated Mom had taken over, right? And we really, this year, I hosted the Motivated Mom Retreat, and it really was about self-care. As moms, we don't self-care well. And we have to get to the point where we do, like Dorinda said, get selfish, because we have to take care of ourselves. I told myself, I want to raise my son, right? My mother was a teen mother, and I have 6 moms. I lived in 4 homes growing up, in high school alone. I want to raise my own son. Self-care is critically important. I'm really glad, Kimberly, that you found a way to balance that. Jewel, can you share with us some of the best practices? I mean, you have a lot going on, shows and kids in college. How are you, a blended family? Can you share with us some of your best practices that helped you to become successful in the things you learned?
Yeah, and I'll say this, I think everybody's kind of said this, like, I'm still figuring this thing out, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like in any way that I've mastered it, like, I'm still figuring out how to make sure I'm a great mom, and how to be a good businesswoman, and making sure my husband feels support. But I would say that, like, when everybody was in the house, it was easier, because we saw each other, we could sit down and maybe have breakfast together, or have dinner together. But once they started moving out of the house, most of them all live close. Irena's still in DC. She just graduated from Howard in May. But we said, yeah,
But starting will be done in here.
But anyway, so we started doing like the family text messages. And so I try to do those almost daily, and we engage as a family on there, and I'll send out scriptures to them, and I'll remind them that God is always gonna make sure that He has the advantage. And then we plan family vacations, or we're in a mansion in a particular part of the world, and everybody will fly in, and we'll spend that week there or however long hanging out, setting family goals, setting financial goals, checking in on everybody, and then we try to do family dinners at least twice a month at the house. So I think when your children are in the house versus when they get out of the house, it's definitely different, because Ben and I both are very, very vision oriented and goal oriented. We're pretty much only home on Wednesdays and Sundays for church. So that's how we kind of mix it together. And then just trusting the promptings, trust your instinct. When you feel like you might, like, I know I needed to spend some extra time with Sai, so I just planned a vacation for us to go to Italy, you know, for a week, the end of November. I'm flying her out to California with me next week. So you gotta kind of know where each of your children are, because each of them needs something different. You know, you can't all put them in the pool and say, okay, this is how I'm just gonna do all of y'all, because they might be in different places. So I think really ultimately just staying sensitive to those practices and not feeling like this is the way we've always done it. But sometimes the season has shifted, and they might be a different part of you that you didn't even know you had the capacity to be.
That's good stuff. That is good. That is good. As a matter of fact, she's on point too. I am leaving right after this panel, because my son is like, Mommy, you have a lot going on this month. I need you home. You go tomorrow, you come back today. You know, if you leave today, you come back tomorrow. So that's critically important, because we can get so busy in the rat race, right? Don't buy the lie that you have to do everything. You don't. Link up with your passion. Passion makes complacency uncomfortable. When you link up with your passion, you're gonna thrive. Doesn't matter what you do. It's like ball players. They get paid to do what they love. Like, that's dope. So find your passion and adjust your lifestyle to that, because that's critical in how we raise our children through that. So that's awesome. Okay, Alicia, what has been your biggest parenting lesson? And y'all can chime in, because y'all might have some good ones. And how did that lesson affect you as an entrepreneur?
For me, I think we all kind of touched upon it, but I want to take it to a whole nother level. You have to be able to manage your time and protect your time ferociously. Be selfish with it. And one of my boss sisters, Tiffany Fulcher, she's not here today, she said it best.
She is dope.
You have to be who you need to be in that moment and be okay with it. See, we as mothers, we like to be different things. We like to be an entrepreneur here, or mother there, or wife there, but we never feel okay in that moment. We feel like we're being a wife. You know what, I need to be over here doing something, or we're running a business. I really need to be here with my kids. And we're not fully present in that moment because we're constantly feeling guilty at that time. So we have to learn how to be intentional about who we're gonna be in that moment and be okay with who we're being in that moment. that's the only way we're gonna be able to move forward and be able to achieve the things that we wanna achieve, because we're all doing it for our kids. Our purpose is to build a legacy for our kids, to keep our kids from going through the bumps and the bruises and the issues that we had to face growing up. That's something that we can all say what we're doing while we're doing. So when we start to be okay in our moments, then we can focus on the moment and excel in the moment. And that's how it's helped me as an entrepreneur, just knowing where my priorities lie, know where my priorities lie in that moment and focus on that.
What about you guys? What parenting lesson shifted your business? Have you had any that kind of changed the dynamic of your business?
Yeah, I
How you
think,
make decisions?
yeah, I think one of my biggest challenges is knowing how to turn it off. Because I saw my parents accumulate like a lot growing up, his and hers Rolls Royces, his and her Mercedes, housekeepers, cooks, drivers, and at 19 we lost everything. And I was devastated. The whole family just went through a depression, and because I was the oldest girl, I had to kick in. I started dating drug dealers. This is a whole crazy thing. But because of that, I think I was like, I'm never gonna go through that. Like, because I always wonder, how did some people achieve all the success, even during times of recession, their lifestyle didn't have to change. So I had determined in my mind, okay, God, you show me what I need to do. What's the strategy so that we never have to go through that kind of roller coaster? So with my thing is, because I come from a family of workaholics, I had to learn how to turn it off, because I'd be picking up the children, still on my phone doing the deal. And we had a family meeting, and this has been several years ago, and the whole family was like, Mom, you gotta control. And I was like, no, I'm just trying, and they're like,
Justified.
wait a minute. Yeah, and so I had to, like, okay, God, help me to detach. Because even though they were the end goal, if in the process they don't
Lose
feel
them.
valued, then I've still missed it.
Exactly.
So that's something that I have to, even now, I have to be like, okay, this is family time. So that's probably my biggest challenge as a mom, to know when to turn it off and make sure that if we're having family dinner, we're having family dinner. And because my business is global, I'm always gonna be being pulled on. So that's the big thing that I'm always like, okay, like you said, in this moment, right now, this is all that matters. And so I think I've definitely gotten better. I think the children, when we have family time, we let them judge us. And they'll say, no, we feel like you're more present. So that's just been an ongoing thing.
That is so, that, y'all can clap for that. I was working for T.D. Jakes and doing just a lot of travel, and I mean, he is unhuman, seriously. I can say that with confidence, he is. But I remember coming in, and it was kind of like what you're talking about. I'm working constantly, because if he texts you at 3 a.m., you need to look at the phone and respond to let him know that I see you and I hear you and I'm paying attention. But I'm at home, and my baby was young. He's 9 now, so he was a little bit younger. And I'm talking to him, I'm texting and responding to emails and texts. And my baby said, Mommy, talk to me with your eyes. And I was like, I am not present. And it completely changed everything that I did. I knew then, like, this is not for me. You know what I mean? And that's okay to get to the point where you have to reinvent yourself. You have to pivot, as Michelle Thornton was saying, and make some differences. Real quick, I'm gonna open it up. Anybody have any questions for these amazing people? Not everybody at once. Okay. Those are both amazing questions. They really are. And I'll kick it off. So a couple of years ago, my son has been modeling since he was probably 18 months. So a couple of years ago, we were in the Walmart, and he wanted a toy. And my husband told him no. So my husband's on one side of the store, I'm on the other, and Chance says, Mommy, can I see that? And I was like, yeah, you can see it. No, I had no idea. His daddy told him no. And we got it and put it in the car. Walk up to my son said, you're not getting that. I told you, you can't. Well, on the way to the register, my son said, Mommy, you know when you told me that I modeled, that they paid me? I said, yeah, baby, they pay you. You think I have $19.99 in the bank? I said, yeah, I think you have $19.99. He was like, okay. So we got to the register. I was like, you're not getting that. Oh, no, Daddy, you don't have to do it. I'll pay for it myself. And I was like, okay, you know, you use your own money. And we thought that that was a big deal until, y'all remember a couple years ago when the lottery had gotten to like $5 billion? Y'all remember that? So we were watching television and my son was like, Mommy, look at them. They're all running to buy lottery tickets. And I was like, right, I know it's $5 billion. And I said, Chance, that's a lot of money. He was like, I know, but don't they know that if they don't have responsibility, they won't keep it? And I'm looking at you like, how old are you and where did you come from? You've been spending too much time with Dorinda Walker. Over here talking to me about finances. But it's true, you guys. Our kids learn from us about money. And how are you guys, like, answer her question. I want to hear from y'all.
For me, I think I take my daughter, like the last Mom Boss conference that we had and I was on the panel, I took her with me so that she can hear, because I felt like at that age, nobody talked to me about finances. And so I said, I need to start her now because I know what I like to do and I know what habits she's picked up just from her lifestyle, you know what I mean? But then with her lifestyle, like you need to know that this is what it takes. You see me doing this, and doing that. It's not, just don't think that because Mommy and Daddy makes this money that you're just gonna get everything. It comes with a price.
Yeah, my grandmother used to say, money don't grow on trees.
Right. And so she was there and she learned, and so she's seeing that, okay, there's women here, they're doing this, they're doing that. And so it's a perfect example for her to see that you can start this now. So then she went home and she saves all her money. She will say, you give her money, she works for it, but then she's gonna go ask her dad for money. But she's like, don't you have? No, I need to save my money, Mom. When are you gonna take me to get my bank account? Like, so her mind and her thought process is completely different.
I think for me, I do the same to what Kim was saying. I try my best to teach my kids everything that I learned. So I had my first son when I was 15. So I started off in help desk tech on Black uniform too. Black IT uniform. So when I was working in help desk fixing computers, I would show my son what I was doing. And it got to the point where he was able to fix computers. And I started getting into graphics and doing that, showing that, so that he can do that and make a little extra money. So he's in college using that as a side gig to put some money in his pocket. So everything I did, I made an effort to show my kids how I did it, what I'm doing. My youngest one, I would take him on my events when there weren't women on because he's a boy. But he was the one at the table. He would be quick to tell you how much my books cost, and if you wanted to pick it up, he would tell you quickly how much it would cost, and he would ask if you're gonna pay for it. And he managed to tell me opportunities, but I didn't say, well, you can sell your books here, Mom. I was like, oh, yeah, right. So just teaching them those little things and those aspects helps them to see things from a broader horizon versus you have to go to work, get a good job, and get an education. I tell my kids every day, you don't necessarily have to go and get a job. You can create your own job. You have too many gifts on the inside of you to be sitting here broke. I tell that to my oldest son now, like, you can have a brand new car out there if you want to right now. You have too many skills and talents and gifts to not have money, because if you're broke, it's because you choose to be broke.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, go ahead, Jewel.
We talk to them about multiplying money, not just making money. So we talk to them about trading foreign currency, trading cryptocurrency. When we did a family vacation over the holiday, we spent 2 days just buying different crypto coins, researching the market demographic. Why should we buy this? When should we sell this? We talked to them about investing in oil wells and mining rights and real estate. And I own a real estate company in the Detroit dumpster business. So this summer and this Thanksgiving, when we go to Detroit, I'm gonna take them all about all the properties, let them know, okay, Mommy bought this one for $10,000. We put $10,000 in it, then we sold it for $50,000. So we try to make sure we actually walk them through, and then we also introduce them to the team. I had some of my children on, we have meetings at the house, and we'll say, okay, this is the trust, this is how it's set up, this is what you're gonna have to do. And then they get a chance to ask our team questions, our accountant questions, the trust manager questions, the oil guy questions. I want them to have a relationship and let them know, first of all, that the wealth that God has blessed us with didn't just come because mommy and daddy's so smart. We have a team of people that are here and instrumental, that have a particular skill set that's able to give us direction. We want them to have that relationship to pick that up. So I think them understanding the team, them understanding the financial blueprint of where we are today as a family, where we're gonna be in 10 years, and then making sure that they can manage it. Because it's not just about giving you this stuff, but I wanna make sure that you understand the work ethic and the thought process and the challenges that come with how we deal with the IRS if there's an audit. And then we talk to them, and we weren't doing that for a long time, because our children were like, we just feel like everything's there for you guys, and we realized we didn't talk to them about the issues. Oh, we're going through an IRS audit right now, or oh, the IRS said we owe this amount of money, or this person that we trusted ended up doing this. We had to start peeling back the layers so they just didn't see mommy and daddy seem like we was always winning. We were talking about it, but we weren't exposing the other side to them. So I think we're a lot more open to the backside of the challenges, or when we're frustrated just because we wanted to temper our emotion. So the only thing they saw us doing was win. We started going into more of that so that they'll know how to manage it and then grow to take it to the next level.
Yeah, and I think also you asked about your brand making money. I mean, you guys, at the end of the day, sometimes you have to reevaluate what we're doing. You know, if it's not working, like Kamika said, if you're not making any money, it's a hobby.
Right.
And it's okay. You can have hobbies. Motivated Mom is one. But Latoya Dennis makes money, right? So you have to be able to know that about yourself. I'm gonna close out with this. You know, Kamika and I partnered together for Mom Boss, and those words combined are powerful, but individually too, right? As a mom and as a boss, we have an opportunity, and I'll even say a responsibility, to change the world. As a mom, we have to be present. We have to be engaged. Those are world changers that we're raising, right? As bosses, the same thing. We have ceilings to break. We have racism and sexism to come against and combat and destroy. So as a mom boss, we have an opportunity, and most importantly, a responsibility to truly change the world. So let's go do it. Let's go do it. Thank you guys so very much.
All right, ladies, let's do that. A round of applause. All right, guys, was that good? Yes. Erica, we were talking about money and investing and how it's something that we as women of color learn more about. So I love Julie that she is about the money. She knows about investment stocks. So we got a little thing going on. But I'm telling you guys, that's how we boss up. That's how we create our financial legacy. Not only that we don't need debt when we're out of here, we can actually be some financial, stability for our kids, our